The eFootballogy series, Informative PES, has started. It's going to be for YouTube and live stream. For Twitch, you'll see a variation of formation tactic. Every stream, you're going to see something different. Obviously, not the best way to go around things if you want to grind for a, Division 1. But imagine going this way, playing to win, but also having fun instead of just using everything meta in a way. So the first episode of eFootballlogy, we're going to start from ground zero. First thing, controller. And then we're instantly going to play, by the way. So it's not going to be a full live stream of tutorial. But for those of you on YouTube, guys. So that's what I would like to do. I made a quick video for YouTube. Most of you guys know, went through everything quickly. This time we're going to start with controller setting. And the next episode will be understanding your 5 tactics and then leveling up your team, because it's very important to the link between your players and quickly don't max out your players before you make them tactically fit. But we'll get back to that. Several videos like that is important before we start. Now, again, some people are beginners, some people already know, not insulting anybody's knowledge. Extras in the main menu, game setting, controller, boom. Now, first thing first, let's start with the defense, okay? Now, everything is default right here. I'm gonna talk about the best controller setting. Again, eFootballlogy is not just one man's opinion, okay? I experiment, play online against humans in a competitive mode like Dream Team. And I also ask the community question, people who dominate in top 10 last year, for example, people who play in Division 1. So anything I'm recommending right now is based on all that in a way. And I can show you, in my opinion, the best controller settings. Customization, what button you prefer on which button, that is just personal preference. So before you get into this, you have to press triangle. This is important. Now, throughout the whole year, semi-assisted has always been the best option in my opinion. Now, I can explain it why, or we can just make this quick in the next video. We'll get into much more details. Push that semi-assisted. Player name. A lot of people ask, how do you have your player's name on top of their head, like when you play? You pick player name. I mean, why would you have it like user ID or anything else? I prefer player name. You can also make your opponent's team have player name in a different setting. Now, this is the most important one. Manual cursor switch. When you flick the right stick to defend, to switch a player, ball oriented, in my opinion, and 70% people on Twitter out of like 300 votes or something. Why you want to pick ball oriented? Like, put it this way, dude. When your opponent has the ball, right? You don't exactly want to go rush for the guy on the ball. You want to think about blocking the passing lane and think about who is the next guy he may pass it to is going to create danger. So if I am ball oriented, when I flick my right stick, I'm instantly going to be switching to the player who's near the ball. I don't want that personally. And so is the majority. The player oriented will give me freedom to switch to anybody. Because if you're on the ball, I don't want to just charge at you. Usually switch at the back, maybe send a teammate who's near the ball with teammate press. But be careful, teammate press on eFootball right now, you don't just press with one player. I've noticed usually I only press if I see a player near the ball while I'm controlling one behind in case he fails. Not only that player near the ball, but another player comes and presses as well. So I think it's a little bit, I don't think it should be the way this way, or maybe they make it that way so it doesn't get abused, but it's not like PES. So in my opinion, ball oriented should be the option. And again, those of you guys here, those of you guys on YouTube, comment down below if you disagree and why you agree or disagree. Pass level. Now, we voted and voted and voted. We gave feedback. Remove passes at 1, 2, 3. Just give us basic or manual. They gave us 4 options now. And they flipped it to change it manual pass assist. Now, I'm not going to compare this to my club pass assist and all that jazz, but let's just say pass support manual pass level 1, it's like pass support 3, the highest assist on my club. Just so you understand a little bit better. Level 4, it's like manual, but you're never really full manual, if you know what I mean. You're never really full manual. If I go with meta, most people in Division 1 I've heard as well, they use pass assist 1. If you use manual pass level 1, you will get the highest assist, less freedom. If you want to use like pass support 1 on my club, similar to that, then I would recommend 3. For me, I'm experimenting. Again, for the live stream, that's what we do. We experiment with passes, different formation, players, etc. You guys know. That's what you guys chose, nominated for the series, so we're going to do that. So in my opinion, right now I'm using 2 because I don't want to be too assisted and I don't want to be less assisted. I want to understand the game first. Ideally, I prefer level 3 because I like more freedom a little bit. I don't want to be just I mean, metas, in my opinion, metas all about using players that's effective in the game, using formation that's effective in the game, using playing pattern that's effective in the game, using setting that's effective in the game. You find yourself, you're just doing that's everything's effective in the game and not really doing what you prefer to do in a way. Self-satisfaction in a way. I mean, of course, if you go level 3, if you go level 1, your pass is going to be even more... what is that link, by the way, Mr. G? We've been more assisted in a way. And I think majority, I'm not saying majority, but I've heard a bunch of people are using 1. 1 is not helpful at all. Well, pass support 1? Well, I'm pretty sure I've well, not seen it, but I've heard it from a bunch of people there. Thank you, Mr. G. So in my opinion, I would recommend 2. If you want even more freedom, go 3. If you want to be bionic with no freedom, if you're one of those guys who use blimp and just pass, but the ball around, maybe try 1. Do you know what I mean? I'm not judging. Thanks, Mr. G. I'm going to create a command for that one, bro. Thank you. So for that one, I would say 2. Now, this one is a bit weird, okay? It just depends how you like to defend. If you choose shoulder charge, then it kind of explains here in a way. Let me switch the camera a little bit. If you choose that one, shoulder charge, then it'll be allocated to tackle button. To perform a sliding tackle, you have to press matchup or pressure button twice. So my pressure button is X. If I choose shoulder charge, right, for that particular button, and if I want to do a standing tackle, then I have to use my pressure button twice. I mean, I kind of explained this there. I don't want to blab about it too much. I personally prefer shoulder charge because I use shoulder charge more than sliding tackle. Like, I love getting shoulder to shoulder with a player, and as soon as I'm a little bit ahead of his body, shoulder charge, standing tackle. I've literally defended like that so far, and it's been very successful. But how far it goes when you go to higher division in a competitive mode, I mean, this is based on online competitive mode Dream Team, not Master League, not offline, not your buddy who doesn't know how to play on the couch. So I prefer shoulder charge. Could be personal preference, that one. Shot type, I mean, listen, man, you can use manual, but in a competitive mode like Dream Team, like, you have to be really, really good. I usually prefer to have an option to occasionally do a manual shoot or a manual pass, which I sucked at manual shooting, but manual passing was all right. But we don't have that option anymore. Directional guide, I put these kind of stuff off. You can have it on if you want. Now, feint command type. Again, for a competitive mode like Dream Team, I want to do quick skill combination. I'm not doing joga bonito. I'm not creating a montage in a way. People are not going to look at you, you know, performing a skill that looks nice unless you are super duper good. But in the long run, if you want to reach higher division, I recommend easy. It may sound a little bit cheap in a way, but for instance, I like that, like, let's say a McGeady spin, super cancel, and then double touch. That's a simple combination. Or a flip flap and then double touch. I like 2 combinations, and when I put it on easy for online, a lot of time you have delay. I prefer the easy option. Manual will be something if I create a montage or if I play against friends, a competition, friendly competitions. So that is the option about detail settings. RSP, have a good night, my man. Appreciate you dropping by. Now again, how you want to change your controllers, that is really up to you. One thing is really important that I can tell you is the sprinting with R2. I know for those people who just jumped from, especially if you just jumped from PES 21 to eFootball, you probably hate that. It kind of reminds me when I switched from left stick to, from D-pad to left stick. I hated it. Didn't even feel like PES for me. But the advantage that you have when you sprint with R2, I mean, think of it as a kind of car acceleration, right? I mean, look how your R2 fingers, R2 button is in a way. You have a big gap. So with the R2 button, if you're sprinting with R2 button, you can actually sprint 30%, 60%, 100%. And the percentage, right, depends how long you play. And the more you press it down, the further you can nudge the ball, push the ball in a way. And what other thing I like about it, you can actually do slow speed dribbling. Slow speed dribbling. But if you're sprinting with R1, you're instantly 100% speed. You might think this is a good in a way. If you're one of those guys who would just through ball and run, then might as well do that. But don't you want to learn the game overall if you want to be consistent? You know, to improve, to go to higher, like challenge yourself in a way. So I can adapt it to the R2. I'm still find it really hard to adapt to shielding with L2, like matchup. Obviously, that's joking, not shielding. So I definitely recommend R2. A lot of people tried it, even some pro players tried it, couldn't adapt, went back to R1. Personally, I would love to sprint with R1 and use R2 as my matchup. Because on PES, we usually just super cancel. I mean, I always super cancel run in a way. But I don't want to sprint with R1. I don't want to become bionic, just use it the same way. I want to take advantage of the new system of sprinting. So everything else, you can customize it however you like. Like if you prefer to sprint with R1, you just switch that with a special control and so on. I think that's personal preference. The only thing I can talk about this, I recommend sprinting with R2. Some people say there's no difference. Maybe on PS4. And this is for PS5, by the way. And on PS, I played on PS4 as well. I usually play between both to kind of experiment. And in my opinion, you can definitely do slow speed dribbling with the R2, but with the R1, you're instantly sprinting 100%. Even in defense, you can kind of slightly do a running jokey. It's not as consistent as FIFA though. Now, in defense, again, that's just a setting. Now, most of these controls kind of explain themselves, but the important part was these settings right here, as I explained. And when it comes to it, again, personal preference, whatever you're comfortable with, pick something and stick to it. I tried to change this to be like PES. It kind of doesn't work because, I mean, we kind of did have jokey on PES holding R2, but it wasn't kind of jokey, but it was jokey, if you know what I mean. So it's really hard to make it like PES in a way. Most people, basically, they switch their matchup to circle, like they match up with circle. For me, I can't adapt to that one because on PES, you teammate press with square, right? So I try to change my square button with, let's say, what was it? L2. It confused the hell out of me because I find it really hard to adapt. I'm playing a game and I'm thinking about the buttons. That's why I'm not ready. But I like a challenge. It's always a challenge when you play out of your comfort zone. So this part is that. Again, those of you guys who have questions here, I'll get back to you. We're going to spend 5 minutes to talk and then we're going to go play. And those of you guys on YouTube, just comment down below. And there's one more thing I want to quickly just go through it here. When you go to the help section and you go to command list, it's good to actually learn these things. For example, one of those things are new, sharp touch. It shows you how to do it. I have to say, I'm kind of struggling with that one. I don't know what exactly my player animation should be. I mean, I saw it in the trailer with Sane, right? He kind of nudges the ball a little bit. Like, left stick in R2 all the way down before quickly releasing it. I managed to do it, but sometimes, like, I can't tell because the animation, obviously, with different players are different. They brought back knock-on, quick stop. I think these kind of stuff could be very, very useful. When you suddenly make a quick stop and you change a direction with a sprint like Neymar do, you're going to smoke players. I think these are something that you will want to have a look at it before, especially if you're new in the game, really. So that is pretty much episode 1 of eFootballogy, Informative eFootball. In the next episode, we're going to cover the 5 tactics, the pros and cons, level up your team. It's very important not to max out your players before you raise your chemistry, which is team playing style level. And then squads, and then squad build, all that. You guys know the drill. Okay.